What's going on, everybody? So in today's video, we're going to be doing a before and after video of a recent flip that I just did with all the numbers. I'm going to show you how I found the deal, financed the deal, negotiated the deal. We're going to do a walkthrough tour of the before of the property, and then we're going to do a walkthrough tour after all the renovations were done. And I'm also going to show you exactly how much I made, how much I spent on repairs, everything that came up, some real estate tips along the way. So that being said, you're definitely going to want to watch all the way to the end of this video, and let's get into it. All right, so here's the outside of the condo building. My unit is actually on the top floor, which is good, but it's on the other side, so we'll walk up to it. And something to know about when you're purchasing a condo, the top floor units typically sell for more just from a security standpoint. You typically don't want to be on the first floor. And then also from a noise standpoint, you don't want people like stomping around. So when you're on the top floor, obviously you don't have that. So let me just show you the community real quick. It's actually a massive community. I think there's like 500 or so units, which is good though, because there's a lot of comps. So let's walk up to the third floor. All right, so here we are. Here's the lockbox. So I'm gonna open it up and we'll check it out. All right, so here we are. Here's the dining room. There is my brother Matt. Subscribe to his YouTube channel. I'll put a link below. But as you can see, I told the seller to leave all the stuff, all the junk, just to make it as easy as possible for the sale. So what we're gonna do in here, we're gonna get rid of this carpet. We're gonna put some nice light gray laminate flooring, which I think there's been 4 or 5 that have sold in this community that have that type of flooring that have sold for a premium price. So that should look good, basically all around. We're gonna dress up this fireplace a little bit, clean it out, make sure it's working. As far as the kitchen goes, I was originally planning on just completely redoing the kitchen, but the cabinets are actually in pretty good shape. Actually, the appliances, the entire kitchen's in pretty good shape. However, what we're gonna do, we're gonna put stainless steel appliances, we're gonna paint the cabinets white, put some new hardware, replace the light fixture, new granite countertops, replace this, and it should be looking pretty good after that. It's a small kitchen, so it's not a huge project. And I like these stairs too. What do you think of these stairs? These are pretty cool.
I like them.
Matt likes them. All right, so here there's laundry. Here's the bathroom. What we're gonna do in the bathroom, so basically, all of the ones that have sold for a premium price, they've basically redid everything except for the shower. So we're probably gonna leave the shower tile. As you can see, it's not in bad condition. We'll probably clean it up a little bit, but we're gonna replace the tile, or actually that's laminate. Replace the vanity lights, new paint, everything like that. Put a new closet door here. Here's the bedroom. So we're just gonna paint this, make sure everything, the outlets, make sure everything's good. Here's the view. Not much of a view, but you're on the 3rd floor, so that's usually the best place if you're on the top floor. Here is the closet with actually a newer water heater, which is good. Most properties you're gonna have to replace the water heater. Typically costs around $1,000, $1,500, but this one we won't have to. Here's Matt checking his Instagram messages over here.
Not enough DMs.
He needs more DMs.
What are you gonna do about the fireplace?
We are going to just dress this up. I got a couple ideas. My contractor's better with the actual design, but we're gonna make it look a lot nicer. I don't know the exact specifics yet. Maybe put like a mantle up there, make sure it's working. This is a cool little selling point of the property, is the balcony. So it's a decent sized balcony. We're gonna have to clean it up because it's a little dirty right now, but you can see some people have like a umbrella and chairs and nice little patio. Here's the view. And then what's cool about this, here's the HVAC. It's actually newer HVAC, so I got lucky that it was newer HVAC and newer hot water heater. So that's, easily $5,000 that I probably saved right there. And let's just walk up these stairs. So some of these units, they took the carpet off and just have the hardwood and painted it black, and it looks pretty cool and modern. This, I think we're gonna remove the carpet. I need to talk to my contractor about what makes the most sense. Whew, getting out of breath. So here is the master. Again, you know, junk removal, new light fixture. As you can see, there's popcorn ceilings around, but all of the properties that have sold for premium, they all kept their popcorn ceilings, so I don't think we're gonna need to do that. Got a small closet right here, and then the bathroom. Again, it's not in bad condition, it's just original. So we're probably gonna keep the tile the way it is and just do new floors, new vanity, new toilet, new lights, and get rid of this paneling, do some drywall. And see, you got 2 closets up here. It's kind of nice. So that's basically it, the tour. I'm gonna have Matt give me some condo tips for selling a condo as fast as possible. Luckily with this community,
wait, you gonna hire me?
I don't know, we'll talk about it.
Okay.
These condos, these 2-bedroom condos, they tend to sell pretty quickly. So hoping that that trend continues, and we're gonna come back with a video of the after renovated property. All right, so here is the finished product. Looks a little bit different if you saw it the last time. We just got the stagers in here, and as you can see, new floors, new fireplace, new paint, new light fixtures. We stained the stairway, which looks good.
Welcome to my condo.
And there's condo expert Matt Layton.
Welcome, welcome. Take a look around.
What are the top 3 things you like about this condo?
Top 3 things. First of all, it flows very well. I know because of the staging, where my couch is gonna go, where the dining room set is gonna go. Number 2, I like the open kitchen. That's what everyone is looking for. And number 3, it's painted.
Painted, and it's on the top floor.
And it's on the top floor.
So no one's gonna be stomping around. But let's take a tour. So if you remember this, there was just junk everywhere. I got new lights, did some trim work, painting. In this kitchen, we actually kept the original cabinets and we refinished them and sanded them and painted them, and then put some new hardware. We did all new appliances, new countertops, new backsplash. Let me know what you think about the backsplash. I think it looks pretty good, but also kind of, maybe it's too busy. I don't know. More of a numbers person, not so much a design person. That's why I let my contractor do this. So as you can see, pretty open concept, modern concept. Some people put carpet on those stairs. We just stained them, took off the carpet, and I think it actually looks really good.
It's much better without the carpet.
Without carpet, yeah.
As little carpet as possible.
Less carpet, the better.
Yeah.
So let's take a quick tour. Here is bedroom number 1. We got new door handles as well. So what's cool here is you got the tall ceilings. Here's carpet, but it's a bedroom, so carpet's okay. This was kind of, we didn't really know what to do in here, so it's kind of, because you have the hot water heater, so it's kind of open to the buyer to put in a closet as they see fit. Let's do one more. You're kind of looking into your neighbors, but that's every place in this complex. So here is the bathroom. Looks a little bit different, doesn't it? Tile work. Subway ceilings. And so what they did with this tub was they actually, it's the original tub, and they just sanded it and then painted it white. So it looks like a brand new tub. So you can save some money that way. I like this entrance. And as you can see here, there's fillers on each side because it didn't quite match up with the dimensions, but the fillers make it just seem like, you know, make it fit a lot better. Then we have washer dryer. We didn't replace those. It's just a washer dryer. It still works. We need to get this door on the hinge. It's kind of off its hinge right now, but there's a couple minor touch-up items. It's just a closet with the paint that we used. I don't know what that is. Alarm center. Okay. So let's take a look upstairs. Here's the patio. It's actually raining a little bit outside, but they power washed the patio. As you can see, it's big enough to have, you know, a little table out there. All right, let's go upstairs. So this stairway, they just sanded and then stained. Here we go. All right, so here's the room, new paint. We kept the original windows because they were still in pretty good condition. Got the world's smallest little fan up here, but this thing is powerful. We actually have to make the chain a little bit longer because it's kind of high up there right now. So here is the room. Really tall ceilings again. As you can see, the closet has the gold trim around that, so that might be a final touch-up item as well. The property's going active in a couple days, but I might get the contractors to paint that white or maybe even black. And if you have a suggestion, put it in the comments below. I want to hear what you think, if it should be black or white. Here's the bathroom. Got the large subway tiles. And then floors. Then if you remember this closet, it didn't have this type of ceiling, so they put in a new drywall ceiling. It's big enough for someone to kind of design their own thing. And then up here, he still needs to paint that. And then there's like all this storage that goes up here. It's kind of a lot of space, so it's good for a potential buyer. And we'll get the aerial view. This place looks pretty nice. The neighbor was actually talking about, oh, this place is gonna sell so quickly. She's like, I love this place. I didn't know you could do this with it. She said the stairs, she really liked the stairs.
How do you think it turned out?
I think it turned out well. I think they were fast. They specialize in this area. They're, you know, I've worked with them before, so they obviously do a great job.
Yeah, you're gonna get like 5 contracts on this. I'm not even saying it for
he says it right now, 5 contracts.
Because there's so little inventory in Northern Virginia, and this is a move-in ready condo. It's gonna be priced accordingly. It's gonna be priced aggressively, so you're not gonna have any issues with this.
All right. Well, that's the tour, and we'll go over the numbers in the next part of this video. All right, talk to you soon. Okay, so real quick, I'm going to talk about how I found the deal, as well as the numbers on the deal. So the way I found the deal, there's a really cool website called PropStream, where it's think of the movie Moneyball, but for real estate investing. So you can really find like the most potentially motivated prospects in any market. And I have an entire tutorial video, I'll put the link below, that you can watch on really how to use PropStream. But I was marketing to properties that had been owned at least 15 years in a transitional neighborhood to owners that were, I think, at least over 45 years of age. So sometimes people, you know, have built up equity. They just want to cash out. So you really want to be like very selective. You don't want to just market to everyone. You want to be pretty targeted in your marketing. So you can watch that tutorial video on really how to find motivated sellers in pretty much any market. And then the way the seller found me, I had sent a postcard to them, and they actually submitted their information through a website. I use a website called Carrot. It's a pretty popular real estate investing type of website. website, and I'd highly recommend you check it out. I also have a demo video on that. And then if you sign up using my link, I'll actually do a free 30-minute coaching call with you. The reason for that is, I'm an affiliate, but it is the website I use, and it's a great tool. Because what happens if you're doing direct mail or different types of marketing, some sellers want to contact you in different ways. So some might call you directly, some might text you, some might email you, some might prefer to fill out a form on your website. So you really need your website presence, your online presence to be pretty good. So these Carrot websites just make it so simple and easy and effective for you to get online leads. Now, as far as the numbers on the deal, I actually had the original offer was $315,000 with a 5K seller credit, so that'd be $310,000. But it fell through because of this issue right here. I don't want to say it because YouTube might demonetize me, but we had like 20 or 30 showings, so I was actually surprised I didn't even get like a full price offer. 5K seller credit after like 20 showings over the weekend, you would think you'd get a pretty great offer. So I was actually happy that this first offer fell through because I had a feeling I could get a better offer. So when I listed it again like 3 weeks later, we got a 320K offer, 5K high, actually 10K higher, with a 2K seller credit. So it's about $8,000 higher. However, we found out that there was polybutylene pipes in the unit, which those are not good. There's a certain section of Alexandria, Virginia, where the entire townhouses and condos all have these types of pipes. And for some reason, my contractor and myself, who've done a lot of business in this area, we both missed it. So that cost us about $5,000 to replace the entire pipes in the condo unit. And I think my contractor gave me a pretty good deal on that. So some cases it could be higher. So overall, I had purchased it for $199. That includes a couple $1,000s in closing costs. I spent about $37,000 on repairs. I used a private money lender, which I saved about double from my previous hard money lender. So always look into private money. Just ask around, ask different loan officers, just standard loan officers in your area, if anyone in their company does hard money lending. That's how I found my hard money lender, and it saved me $10,000 on this deal. So it only cost me $9,000 in financing. I paid a 2.5% commission, so that was about $8,000. And that's another way to save another $10,000. So I'm a licensed agent, so I could list my own properties. So between using private money and being a licensed agent, I saved like $20,000, which is a pretty nice little bonus on top of every single deal. And then I paid my stager about $2,500, and photos were about $500. And a lot of people skimp on photos and staging because they can save $3,000 or sometimes more than that. But you should almost, like, if you're going to splurge on one thing, splurge on staging and photos. Professional photos are like game changer. Even if your renovation is terrible, if you have good photos, it's going to make your property sell a lot faster, especially if you have staging in there. Carrying costs were about $2,000, closing costs were about $2,000. So the total costs were $61,000. So if we add up all the numbers, this was the final sales price. These were my expenses. That is the next number. And then this is what I purchased it for. So we had a $58,000 net profit, which is really good for a pretty low risk type of condo. And that's something you have to keep in mind. Any type of investment deal, if it's going to be a massive gut renovation, you would want to make significantly more than 58. And honestly, with this type of deal, because it was so low risk, I probably would have been okay making like 25 or 30,000 on it. Probably not less than that, but something to keep in mind. The bigger the project, the more margin of safety you need to put in there. So thanks for watching this video, and check out the 2 tutorial videos below in regards to the website and also using PropStream to find off-market leads. And additionally, if you're looking for a real estate mentor, I do some one-on-one real estate mentoring, and I'll put a webinar link below so you can watch the free webinar and see if it makes sense to work one-on-one together. And as always, if you have any questions, drop them in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.